I'm worth $500 freaking an hour. I have to know that the efforts I'm putting in, they're getting me some. You know, when I was in high school, man, I wish I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, man, I wish I was in kindergarten.
Of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous.
Like, this whole game is rigged. This will be the hardest thing you have ever done in your life. You wish you could start over. And sometimes you don't get the chance. Harder than any workout, harder than any relationship, because you know the number one person that you're dealing with is you. Talk, and today we're going to talk about starting from scratch. Here's what's happened as I've grown up. Have you ever looked at your kids or people that you were babysitting or people that were younger than you and said something to the effect of, man, you got it so easy. Man, I wish I was back in the day. And, you know, it's the first day of school and I'm looking at this kid. I remember I was like, man, I'm going to school, heart's beating, whatever it is. And man, I look back when I went to college, I was like, man, I wish I was in high school again. You know, when I was in high school, man, I wish I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, man, I wish I was in kindergarten, right? It's all relative, right? So what I mean to say is we're in a situation where you wish you could start over. And sometimes you don't get the chance, but here's an opportunity where you do get the chance. I want to caveat what I'm going to share about starting over, literally doing a reset with this. I want you all to know this. Just keep this in mind. Life is by default, it's designed for you to fail. Like, this whole game is rigged. This is like gravity. It's pushing you down, meaning if you jump, you will go down. If it wasn't for gravity, we would just float along, but it's meant to push you down. And so here's the deal. Before I talk about restarts, I want you to know this. If you choose not to decide, life will decide your future for you. So if you don't decide, that's you deciding. And if you don't decide, trust me, you're not going to like what life decides for you, because it's straight failure. It's no different than a vehicle. It's just going to drive. But because of other exterior forces, if you just leave a vehicle straight and just hit the pedal, it will go. The wind will blow it. It'll go. It'll just go. And it's designed for you to crash. Like, that's how it is. I'm going to give you something to think about. There was a movie called After Earth that Will Smith did with his son, Jaden, and it bombed the theaters. The concept was they had left Earth and they crash landed on a new Earth, or the same Earth, but it was new to them. And this Earth was designed to kill humans. And I'm just being real with you, right? So the default setting, right, is you will fail if you do not hold on to the wheel and go the right direction. Now, let's say you've gone to the wrong place. How do you hit reset? I'm going to share some of the things that I would do like right now and what I'm doing. And I'm going to be transparent about it because I am hitting the reset button. I am starting over. And so I'm going to put my mind in the body of a new agent. And I'm hoping that you would be able to garner something from this if you wanted to start over. Because right now, if you're having trouble, the truth is this: your past is in your future. That's the problem. And in order to restart, I can tell you all these things, but if you don't recognize it off the get-go, that you have to figure a way to conquer this and allow a newness to be able to do this with a fresh mind, you're going to fail. Okay, so you're going to fail. So in order to be able to allow the steering wheel to do its thing, you have to let it do its thing. So let's start off about how to make sure you don't fail. So if I was a brand new agent today, here's some of the things that I would understand going into the game. You have to understand the environment you're in. So here's what I want you to know. There's two different kinds of people when it comes to recruiting. You can either recruit high talent with no character, or you can recruit someone who has no talent and a lot of character. You know, the person that I rather recruit all day long, I rather work with all day long, I will sweat for all day long, answer their phone calls all day long, is the one that has no skill but top of the line character. And let me add a caveat, no emotional baggage. Not saying we all have baggage. The question is, do we leave that in the trunk when we come to work, or do we bring it into the office with us? That's just real talk. So when I say no emotional baggage, you control yourself. You are able to get yourself straight and do this job properly, because there is no job when they do a little psych eval that will hire you if you don't have the right mindset. Most jobs, if you don't seem right, they're like, man, you need to go take some time off. Ask yourself, what job do you do where you're distracted, you're not focused, you're not doing it, something is obviously garnering your attention more than the job is, that they let you stay? The challenge is no one's monitoring you. And so because you are the CEO of your business, you let a derelict employee stay around, which is you. And then, of course, you ruin it for the whole company, which is your company. So allow yourself to understand, set the standard for yourself. Do you have high character? And maybe you may have skill, but let's say you don't have any skill. Do you have high character? And do you have emotional, what was the word? I forgot the word. It just escapes me. Do you control yourself? Are you able to do this thing and be present? Because if you're not, you need to excuse yourself. Now, that's the first thing I got to set. So I came into this game, and I'm still here because I know that this business is not about skill. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm setting the stage of, if I tell you what I would do as a new agent and you don't win, it's easy for you to say, oh, it didn't work. No, it's not the program I'm giving you. I want to make sure that you're employing and implementing this program with the right operating system. So if you don't use this operating system, then deal's off. So you need to check yourself and say, okay, is my OS buggy? Okay, now I can be honest with myself and say, you know what? It's not the program, it's my OS. But even with a buggy OS, you can at least compensate for it, because we can handle challenges, but what we don't want to handle is surprises. Knowing the bugginess and where it's going to get you is easier than just all of a sudden, being surprised. Oh man, I didn't know where that came from, right? You feel what I'm saying? So here's what I knew coming into this game. There are people who are way better than me. I'm talking flawless skills. They are so good at sales and being able to ask the right question. They're better looking. I mean, I know it's hard, but it's hard to believe, but they're better looking than me. There are people from all over that are better in every way you look at the boxes. But you know where I knew no one could beat me? And this is something that you got to ask yourself is, listen, if you and me are on a treadmill and I got to go in order to win, I'm going to have to die for me to lose. I may not run fast, but I'm going to die before I lose. I will just go. I will literally pass out. So if I lost, you were just a better person. What I'm talking about is work ethic. Now, here's what I knew. Do I have the runway to be able to allow myself to be bad enough, long enough to get good? How long is my runway? So I would ask myself these questions if I was brand new. Do I have 30 days? Do I have 60 days? Do I have 90 days? Okay, got it. And if I have 30 days, I would be able to gauge, okay, so I got 30 days, I got 90 days, I got 60 days. How much effort does it take a normal person to win here? I would then start asking questions, getting the numbers, and I would find out, okay, normal person, full-time, does this, okay. Well, how much investment does it take a normal person to win in this environment? Okay, the leads are X amount, okay. Leads are, $1,000 for, normal leads, $4 or $5 a piece, whatever. And they run that, the 2 dial days, okay. Do I have that? And I would be able to use that as a gauge to know, do I even have a shot to win this game? I'm saying this on purpose because it's happened to some of you. It happened to me when I was in soccer. I wanted to win that game, but you know what? This is a big thing with the US of A, like the national team. They're think about it. You're USA, but they're United States, which they're supposed to be the best at everything, but they suck at soccer. I don't say suck, but they haven't won a World Cup. How is it we're so good at everything else? First world country, got all the top facilities, and you still can't get great athletes? You got the NBA, hey, 1 second. You guys, oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, let me know in chat if something meant up. You got the NBA, you got the MLB. All these things are great, but soccer. You know what they found out is it's a pay-to-play system. It's rigged, meaning if you don't got the cash flow, you can't play. So otherwise, unlike other countries, Brazil, Africa, all these smaller countries, well, listen, all you need is a ball. And if you got the know-how, they will put you in the game. Whereas in here, it's changed. So I looked at that system and I almost fell victim to not being able to play. But you know what I found out? I saw, hey, it takes $1,000 a year to play in that team. I don't got $1,000. What am I going to do? And so I ran hard and I compensated for it. So I'm saying that as a prerequisite. So let me give you the actual prereqs that I would do. So when it comes to dials, I literally just this morning, I bought 200 leads because I know the numbers and I would ask what the numbers are. The numbers I know are, it's about, for internet leads, it's about a 25 to 30% answer rate. I know that off the bat. Meaning if I buy 100 leads, 25%, 25 people will answer the phone. Now you're still triple dialing and the like, but you will get 25 to answer the phone. Now we know, again, based on the numbers, half will say go pound sand, F off, something cray cray, is what it is. The other half, that's, oh, I know what you're talking about. The other half, that's the pool you're fishing from. So if I only bought 100 leads, that's 12, right? That's only 12 because, again, only 25% picked up the phone. That's it. So you're basically, trying to book appointments from that 12-ish. So you should book about 6 to 9, maybe 10 as you get better and better. Now, this is what I discovered. I said, you know what? If I need 15 appointments for the next couple of days, which you have 2 dial days, I would go in home if it was me. Because again, telesales, it's a different beast and you're going to need more leads in order to make that work. Again, looking at the runway, if I had a short runway and I said, man, I got to get this plane to take off, I would figure a way to go in home. Just like I had to go play soccer. It was $1,000 a year. I didn't know. I was like, you know what? I don't have a car. You know what I did? I said, you know what? I'm going to walk to practice. I would figure out how long it took to get to practice. I got home, took me 2 hours walking to practice, and I walked to practice. I figured it out. I knocked out that barrier. So I would figure those small things. So if you don't have the runway for telesales as a luxury, you then have to go ahead and, go in home, right? I prefer in home anyway, but that's just what you have to do if you want to go the other way. The other ways are luxuries that you may not have the money to fund at this point. That said, 25. So I said, I'm going to double my rate of failure. I'm going to assume the worst. So I bought 200 leads. Now, depending on your budget, you can, spend $10 and, that's a lot of expenses, or you can buy the age leads. I don't care how you get it, but I rather work harder. So 200 leads at a 25% answer rate, that's still 50 people. You see how I just changed my chances of winning just by dialing? I didn't get any better. I just worked harder, meaning I had to be on the phones longer. I dialed more. So out of 200 leads, 50 pick up the phone, half will say go pound sand. That leaves me now a pool. Instead of 12, I got 25, right? Now, is it easier to book 12 to 15 appointments from 25 interested who say things like, hey, maybe I'm busy right now. Maybe I already got it. Or, hey, I don't remember filling it out. Is it easier to book 12 from 25 or book 12 from 12, right? You see what I'm saying? The numbers tell the story every time. I would do that. Now, let me back up. Let's say if I'm just being real with you, I'm brand new. Let's say I really had a lot of heart to do this, but my money was tight. I would figure out other options. Now, this is something everyone should do. I'm going to share something with you. And guys, let me know in the chat if I'm still breaking up, but I'm going to share this with you. If it was me, I would create this. All right. Pop a 1 in the chat if you can see this. I would create that. Thank you. I would literally use my network. Your network is your net worth. Because if you don't got money for leads, y'all, you're screwed. Without leads, you got nothing. Without people, we got nothing. I make a business card like this and I would literally use my phone and I would get the hell. I would smoke those referrals, man. I would squeeze every referral. You got a friend list. You're starting a business. I would blast. And here's what you're going to say in the blast. And I'm going to actually do y'all even a favor. I'm going to share with you what I would say in the blast. And in this blast, this is going to be how you launch your business. Now, here's my recommendation. I recommend you do this anyway. So the truth is, the best time in business is when you start because you have that no sleep phase. You're like so excited. You want to get going. The challenge that what happens, a lot of people is they get into management mode and they forget the no sleep phase. So here's what I'm going to put this on the chat so everyone can read it. But here's what you're going to say. Boom. All right. I'm going to read that. You're going to say, hey, and my friend said something. He goes to say, hey, so-and-so. So to your friends list. Hey, so-and-so, I just got licensed in the life insurance industry. I love to be of service to your family. Send, and then wait for the reply. So send your card, send that reply, send that, and wait for them to reply. And then, hey, you reply maybe with a little bit of small talk. Then, hey, to show you some options that will be beneficial to you. All I need is this. There is no way you send that to like all your people and you don't get any love. Come on. It doesn't matter whether they have anything, whether they don't. Listen, all you want is a shot, right? As friends, if they're getting donuts from a company, you open up a donut shop, where do you expect they should be getting from? If they say, nah, I'm gonna take my guy, really? I thought we were friends. Now, hey, some of us, we have simply acquaintances, but if they're in your phone, why are you not utilizing and capitalizing on your network? I guarantee you, you do this, you will have people to help you. Now, you start there. That's not where you stop. From each person who you help with a policy, you review their policy because, hey, a lot of them are working and they think that work policies are great, but they suck. You help put them in the better position. You're going to get 5 referrals from every person. I want you to just think here. I want to just destroy and annihilate a myth. Yes, we don't have to bug our friends and family in this business. I get that. But there are people that I think it's our obligation to protect them as well. Bugging them is one thing. Bugging them is just the approach. It's just the sleazy person that always come in at the Thanksgiving meals and all that stuff. No, we ain't doing that. We being professionals about it. If someone that you know opened up something that you like to use, wouldn't you like to know about it? If someone that you know had something that was beneficial for them, wouldn't you like to know so that you can go at least keep the money in the family or get it from them? So all the stuff you heard about people, the friends, it's because those were rookies doing it. They were doing it the wrong way. And there's a right and wrong way to do anything. We are going to be professionals here. This is how you become a professional. You approach people the right way. Prime example, dating. Is there not a right way or a wrong way to get approached? Think about it. You're a guy, you're a girl. Some guy says, right? You're walking by. Girl, like, cat calls. Is that how you like to get approached? I don't either. Right? Wouldn't you prefer, hey, how you doing, man? Hey, listen, I know this is kind of forward, but man, I am amazed at how beautiful you are. You tell me, who would you rather at least give a chance to? You see what I'm saying? The approach is what's ruined it for everybody, but that does not make it not a good thing. That is the way to go. And I'm gonna keep going on this. We have a lead system, but here's the truth. That is simply the way you start. It cannot be the way you finish. You buy leads initially because that's just the way to go, right? To get instant clients. You're able to, 2, 3, 4, 5x it quickly. But the reality is, you tell me when it comes to leads, anything you're doing, what's better? Something that's purchased or something that's organic? You can tell me all day it's organic. The goal is not to have to buy leads, y'all. That's the goal. You've created a product, you've created a following, you've created something so good, you got repeat. I'm talking referrals coming to you left and right. So let's keep the main thing here. We buy leads, but if you sell a client, you help a family, you don't get 5 referrals, you messed up. That was the whole deal. The whole reason you go cold market is so that you can get into their warm market. Because pound for pound, what's better? Because people don't like to buy things from people they don't know, like, and trust. They feel like they know you when it's a referral. So what's better? Someone that you just don't know and they have to win you over, or someone that was a referral from a friend that you trust or that you know. Oh, it was good for them, so it could be good for me. You see what I'm saying? So again, you help a family from your blast, and then you get 5 referrals. Here's what it sounds like. Hey, you ask a couple of questions. I'm going to pop this in the chat or pop it in a Telegram. Hey, did I make the process easy for you today, Karina? Yeah. Did I take care of all your needs? Yeah. Now, Karina, how likely are you to refer me on a scale of 1 to 10? They say 10. You know what you should have ready? You have a little referral form. Perfect. If you're in home, you best believe you take this with you. That's perfect, Karina. Take this with you because this is how I actually do business and how I feed my family. Man, you just help them so much. Now it's time for them to give up. Hey, go ahead, go ahead and just share 5 people who I may be able to either help that don't have this, that need it, or people who may have it already, but because you saw what I do, I'm a broker. They don't know that they can get such great coverage or maybe pay less. Go ahead and you just literally wait. You don't leave until those forms are filled out. Get 5 names, 5 names. Then you'll get those folks that say things like, oh, I don't know anybody. Lie. Now, the key is it's weird for them to say they're on a scale of 1 to 10. They would, choose you as a 10 to refer you, but say they don't know anybody. That means you messed up before. So all this while you have generated enough value, you've helped them so much that you almost can demand a referral, right? But let's say that's the case. Hey, Karina, do you have a brother? Yeah. Is your brother still alive? Perfect. Go ahead and pop his name down. Are your parents still living? Oh, perfect. Go ahead and pop your name down. Hey, your brother, is he married? Yeah. Oh, okay, go ahead and pop his wife's name down. Now, does your wife's brother have any siblings? Okay. Man, you can go all day. Cousin, you can go all day. Here's what's happening right now in your mind. You are either getting more confident, you're like, wow, your mind is being blown, or you're getting queasy. You're like, ooh, you're shrinking. Because you know why? The only reason you would be shrinking right now is because you're not sold on something here. And guys, we're not talking about recruiting anybody. We're talking about protecting families. You're not either sold on yourself, that either you have the products or you have the know-how. You're not sold on the company, that maybe, what do you think, they're shady? Or you're not sold on your leadership, that maybe they can't help you. But if you're feeling in any way, shape, or form down about this, there's something that is off. And you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, why am I not preaching this from the rooftops? Guys, you get 5 referrals. You'll close 2 to 3. It's about maybe a 30%, a third will be closed. So let's say you help 3 families. That's $3,000, right? One family is $1,000 typically. You get 3 families. That's 15 referrals you got. And I'm being real with y'all right now. Some of y'all just take this to the trash, but there's maybe 1 or 2 that'll take this. So you'll close 5. So let's say you'll close 5. You get 15 referrals, you close 5. And for each of those 5, guess how many more referrals you get? 5. Come on now. Listen, and I'm telling you this on purpose. Now, there's some people on this that are simply sellers. You're just going to help families all day long. That's all. You're content. You don't want to build, which is cool. Sell $100,000 a month. Awesome. Feed your family. Be a high-paid salesperson. Go travel the world. Do whatever you want to do. But for those who want to build, I'm going to give you a secret. This is not an option. You're going to have to be a hybrid person. Like, in order for you to have enough time, in order for you to be able to build, it's like having children. You can't work all day because the kids need your attention as well. You are going to have to dedicate time to building. How do you do that? You have to time travel or compress time, meaning the sales cycle of a lead, buying the lead, getting the lead, making that they trust you. You're going to have to find some way to shortchange that somehow. Go do a shortcut. The shortcut is referrals, or if you don't have referrals, you know what? The cost of not having referrals, there's a book called The Speed of Trust. Read it. Like, trust has a monetary value where someone says, hey, because I trust you, I know what you say is true, I'll buy from you. Because you lack that ability to be able to ask and you don't want to sharpen that axe, it will cost you live transfers. It will cost you $60 to $120 each lead to introduce them from someone else got a hold of them, verify their information. They may not even trust the person, but you got a live opportunity. You literally compress time. That's what it costs. That's the going rate of compressing time right now. So you can either pay that, or you can go ahead and start getting better at developing referrals from the very families you are helping. I'm telling you, if you're in any way, shape, interested in building a business, you're going to have to find a way to compress time and get your sales locked in a certain time frame. Like 8 to noon, 8 to 2 maybe. You got $2-3 sold, done. Now the rest of your day is spent building. 2 to 5. Maybe you're knocking your sales out, but you need to be doing $2 to $3 a day if you're interested in building. See, when we talk about starting it off, there's so many things and so many strategies we can do right now I'm talking new agent, old agent. But you know what the problem is? All of it requires money. In order for me to help you, you have to work to start generating money. Because, hey, how will you compress time? Now, the hope is you do it organically, but if you can't, you pay for it. How do you pay for it? Well, you went out and you sold some families, and that's how you were able to pay for it. Guys, drop a 2 on the chat if this is helping anybody. If it's just me, well, hey, it'll help me out. But I'm starting from scratch. And this is one thing you're going to realize. Starting from scratch, it takes a lot of what's the word? A lot of humility. I think it was a guy named Honda, Toyota, or one of those automakers. When they were in Japan, did you know that they were a big company before they even came to the US? I read his autobiography. Something happened and the entire factory burned down. I'm talking smoke. And the family that had built that company, I think it was Honda, they had nothing. And he sat there looking at it, and he looked at someone that was with him. He goes, you know what? We're going to make this thing even bigger. And they rebuilt this thing. It's hard to start from scratch. So look yourself in the mirror. Some of us, we've had to start, meaning like we failed. Remember, this life is rigged for us to fail if we don't make the right turns. Yeah, that's what happened to us. It's hard to say, you know what? I'm going to go back and do this again. And for me, I built this business, and I'll be honest with you, I built it the wrong way. Whatever the reason that was, it is what it is. And so some of you have seen my numbers recently have been a little bit lower because I'm not a guy that just does things just by chance. I have to be strategic. I have to know that the efforts I'm putting in, they're getting me somewhere. And if they don't have a long-term goal, I'm not going to do it. I'm not interested. The human mind will never invest its energy in anything that it doesn't think it can finish or accomplish. I'm no different. I have the same weaknesses. Now I'm seeing, you know what? I'm being 100% transparent with everybody. I got to be honest with you. When I first started this business, I recruited the wrong people. And hey, I'm hoping those on this call are the right people. Some of you can decide to be the right person. But you know what I did? I let everyone in. Hey, you want to do it? Yeah, everyone can do it. No, everyone can do it, but not everyone will do it. And I was not selective enough. And you know what happened? I lowered my standards to compensate for weakness. And I'm not talking about skill level, y'all. I'm talking about basic etiquette. Basic etiquette, like, listen, my time is worth a lot. I'm worth $500 freaking an hour. Do you know how many people in the country ever hit Hall of Fame? I'm talking how many people in the United States of America that have a life insurance license ever sell more than 400 grand a year? 1%. 1%. And I was one part of that 1%. I don't do this to applaud myself. I'm being 100% transparent right now. And the challenge is I should have allowed myself to stay at this standard and called everyone, because we call everyone, right? The invitation is for everyone. Whether or not you show up, that's on you. Etiquette, like showing up and valuing my time. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And you know what happened? I did not hold people accountable. And I'm saying this hopefully as leaders, because some of you are leaders, you remember this and you don't make the same mistake I do. Because I'll give you a couple of chances. And if after the chances I've given you, you don't, you're on your own. Until you prove to me you're worth my time. You know what they do at the, I know in Bowen's office? If you come in late for a dial day, you do 100 push-ups. And they do a drop talk with you. Hey, I don't know what their confusion was. This is a business. Like, are you taking this seriously? And you know why we do that drop talk with people from the get-go? Guys, I'm telling you, this will be the hardest thing you have ever done in your life. I'm talking harder than any workout, harder than any relationship, because you know the number one person that you're dealing with is you. You're going to have to figure this out. It's going to confront you with you. And in life, in the US of A, we have gotten and engorged an entire industry that it feeds off of our distractions. We distract ourselves from ourselves so we don't have to look ourselves in the mirror to see that we need to improve. We're literally basking in other people's successes versus saying, you know what? It's time I simply celebrate my own. Listen, I love music. You guys know I love sports. I mean, listen, if you let me, ask my wife, If there's a show, I'm going to get it done. I love shows. But listen, am I going to bask in someone else's success or create my own? My point in saying that is, do not let yourself lower the standards. And you are one of those people who you can decide now whether you're going to increase the lid or not. So again, going back to it, first things first, your network is your net worth. If it was me and I'm doing this today, y'all. Like this little thing, I'm going to actually report. I did this about 6.5 months ago. I think it was maybe 8 months ago. People were complaining about, man, these leads suck, blah, 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 just complaining. And I'm like, after a while, I'm starting to think they're selling me. I'm like, well, maybe the leads do suck, maybe I got it just right. So you know what? I remember I was going down to Yuma. No, sorry, I was going to Tucson. I said, I'm going to buy some leads. I went to the CRM. I bought 200 leads. This is the same CRM we all use. I dialed. And I dialed. I booked about 15, 16, 17 appointments. That weekend, I was going to Tucson. I did about 23 grand, y'all. Half of it was internet leads. The other half was mortgage leads. So it was about 7 to 10 grand from internet leads. The same leads. You know what it came down to? It was work. I dialed all day. It was work. And I'll share the video in the Telegram chat of the post sale. Here's what I'm saying. So if you want to be a brand new person, that's how it would start. You got to know the numbers and then execute. But again, understand the way you start is not the way you should finish. If you're in this business 2 years in, a year in, and you're not, I would say half of your business is not based on referrals, you're messing up. The goal is not to be spending $1,000 a week, 2,000 a week, 3,000 a week on leads. The goal is, if you have to, you do it, but the goal is to make it organic. So start learning the skills to be a professional. The goal is you learn the basic skills, then you start maximizing the money. Then you start asking better questions, helping them with their retirements. And then you get better. But that's the goal, to become a professional insurance person. So I want you all to understand the way you start is not the way you finish, but there is no shortcut. You got to compress time. And the only way you can compress time is you either pay the money. Like if you pay the money, you can compress time. Just buy appointments. Or you pay the price of time. Only two ways. If you're telling me you can't pay the price of time, get out of my business. I'm telling you, if you don't got the money, not got the time, I can't help you. And I'm being honest with you, no one can, because you're looking for some kind of magic formula. And that's what people, I got to be honest with you, that are broke, that's what they do. They look for secret sauces. They look for magic pills. But you know what the universe says? It's plant, cultivate, harvest. And you know what's interesting? All these people that they interview that have the secret sauce, you know what's interesting? If you look at the common denominator in all their stories, they were in the trenches. Jordan, the secret sauce. LeBron. You ask anyone, 10,000 hours of practice. They were in it to win it. They were in it to sacrifice. They were not confused. So I want to make sure that we're not confused here. This will be hella hard. It will be. And this will either promote or expose whether you're really in it to work or whether you were just a poser. You were looking for some fly by night. It doesn't work that way. So I want to make sure you're honest. That's why we do the boot camps. That's why we do the release interviews. We want to make sure you can take a punch. But here's what's cool. If you can take a punch here, this is just a vehicle, y'all. No one says you got to tattoo, Haven Financial forever in your arm. Listen, you make enough cash, go do what you want to do, right? But here's what's cool. You got the renewals. Or if you want to turn this into a long-term, you can. But either way, you got to put the time in to make it work. So I'm off that bandwagon. A couple of things. So the referrals is the way to go. Bear with me one second. There's another topic, and throw down any questions you got, and we're good. There's something I want to. I'll give you an assignment. I'm not about movies, but the time that I watch movies are times when it's actually helpful. There was a clip I wanted to show you that I'll do it as I speak. Maybe this will help out. But here's the deal. There's a clip about a guy. He's a dancing man. Some of you have seen it. Some haven't. Let's see if it works. But the dancing man it's actually a social experiment. And in the social experiment, this random guy starts dancing. And what's weird is, I don't know where this second person comes. Where is it? Dancing Man leadership lesson. There it is. All right, I'm on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna play this, and I'm hoping it's gonna hit home. Before I play it, there's a movie that I'll post on Telegram. It was a running movie. Again, I don't watch many movies. Anna told you when I first got married, I thought movies were like waste of time because all you did is entertain yourself and then your life didn't get any better. Like, what was the point of that, right? You distracted yourself. So, but there was this film that I watched. It was a running movie. I'm going to post it on Telegram. This kid was a good runner. He wanted to work with a coach who would make him a better runner. The coach was a top guy. He had his own problems, but the kid thought he was better than he was. The coach said, hey, go do the best you can. He came, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And the way the story works, the kid thought he was doing the best he could, but he really wasn't. So I want you to just give me an example. Right now, if any of you are sitting, stand up real quick. Stand up real quick. I want you to raise your hand as high as you can. High as you can. Okay, you got it? All right, I'm serious. Do it. High as you can. And then just do it a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher than that. You see how most of you are liars? You see that? You went as high as you can, but I said a little bit higher. Guess what you did? Some of you went on your toes. Some of you kind of went this. You see what I'm saying? Your job is to know what you want and why you want it. The rest is none of your business. You have no idea what you're capable of. Like zero. So I'm doing the best that I can. No, you're not. Because if you were doing the best you can, you would be winning. You haven't unearthed the super you that can do this. And that's what this movie is about. So I'll post it on Telegram. But here's that Dancing Man meme.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous.
All right, that's the first thing. A leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. That's you.
He's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow.
That's all she wrote, folks. All right, so in order to be a leader, you have to be a follower. So this is not about anyone. I want to be clear. When he says easy to follow, that doesn't mean that you lower your standards. That means you make it simple. Initially, we buy leads, dial leads, run appointments. It's simple. We keep it simple. We don't complicate it. Are you using these special leads? No. We just buy. I don't care what leads you get. You get them on Facebook. I don't care. Get them some way, somehow. Dial them. Go see them. Telesales, virtual. Don't care. As long as you fulfill your goals, I will tell you the numbers. We keep it simple. And then you simply go. And here's the truth. We're relying on all of you. There's so many people that need this business. There's so many people that need this opportunity. But more importantly, there's so many people that need this family. They need a place where they can win. I need a place where they can feel like valued. The biggest value they have is not their sales skills. It's their heart. The most important people in this business is you, possibly, because no one listens to Mac. People listen to you. And the question is, will you be a statistic or will you be the exception to the rule? Because that takes that one person. It wasn't 5 people. It was one. One came and followed that leader, then the second one. Or will you be the crowd who just sit back and just, I'll wait until it's comfortable. And then when it's normal, oh, now we'll go. But here's the problem. By the time it's normal, the opportunity is either over or it's minimal. And in FFL, just being real, we have reached a stage where you got to be, it's time to become an insurance professional. Like, you simply buy, dial, run. So that's how you start over from scratch, y'all. Please throw down anything in the chat. And I will say, if nothing else, please make sure you maximize your referrals. If you're not maximizing your referrals, you're not doing this properly. You're just not. A couple of stories this last few weeks while I've been resetting, I've been working on my annual reviews. I've been working on referrals. I'm talking from the mom, the dad. You should be getting it. And so if we need a training on this, we'll do it. But for those of you that are kind of figuring yourselves out, just understand this is a new day. This is the standard. And if you want to be in the dancing club, come dance. If you don't, it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go, because here's the truth. Most people, they kind of, instead of simply stopping what they're not doing, they just slowly back away. You know why they do that? Because it won't hurt as bad. Because it's hard to say, I'm not doing it, so I'm going to quit. It's hard to look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? They're not going to blame themselves. They'll blame everything else. But it's easier if they just don't say anything. And then by the time you know it, they're gone. So the point of the story is have integrity. And if you're going to do. And that's the beautiful thing. So you're going to see some people, some things on Telegram for the Haven Elite. If you're part of the Haven Elite, join us. And here's what's elite in this business. You should be helping 20 minimum families. This is not complicated. Like, this is so simple. Like, it's not complicated. It's a matter of dials and running. And again, I told you the referral game. There is no way you don't know enough people to get some momentum. I'm telling you, there is no way. You're just not doing it right. And if you need help with that, that's a whole different ballgame. We can help you with that, right? But again, 20 a month minimum. If you're full-time, you got to be doing 30 a month. I'm saying 30 is the minimum full-time. But if you want to build a business, it's between 30 and about 60, especially if you have no responsibility. If you got no team right now, no one managing you, and you're doing this, you should be doing 50, 60 a month. You know how I know it's possible? Because I've done it. I can't take you to 80. I can't take you to 90. But I can take you to 70, done 78. So come on, y'all, let's do this. So guys, take care, take charge. Just remember, if you want to start brand new, just start. Check your OS, your operating system. Do you have all the prerequisites, right? What's buggy? Even if it's buggy, it doesn't preclude you from starting over. Just recognize you are buggy. Maybe you freak out when money gets tight. Know that about yourself. Find a way to calm yourself down. And I'll say this one last thing. One thing I've been doing that's been awesome. Go on YouTube. Every day, I've been retraining my mind. There's a 6-phase meditation. I'm doing it 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Sometimes I do it 2 times a day. Sometimes I lock the door in the office. I just lay down. I just listen to it. 10 minutes. Reset my mind. Your mind is the key, right? So it doesn't preclude you if you're buggy. It's okay. Recognize it and then move forward. And as long as you're doing that and you follow and you do, it's game over. 6 months, 90 days, by the way. Give yourself 90 days. That is in anything. I'm talking sales. That's the conversion time it takes to see something new happen. In 90 days, you'll be a brand new you. And then it takes 4 years to change your life. I'm talking from broke and homeless, 4 to 5 years, you can be a millionaire. In between, you'll see some changes, but I'm talking 180-degree change in your life. So that's it, guys. Let's go. I'm gonna be reporting my results. I bought 200 leads this morning. I'll be dialing Friday, Saturday, and then next week I'll be dialing as well. So keep charge. You'll see me posting the leaderboards, daily sales, and hey, take care, take charge, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.